It is the funniest thing.
Dude, did any of you guys go down that rabbit hole of people just eating cornstarch?
Jesus fucking
That was
Christ.
weird. That's
What?
weird. No, that's a whole thing in the urban demographic, apparently.
Yeah,
Jesus
they
fucking Christ.
bake just cornstarch with like flavoring added to it, so it gets like hard and crispy, and they eat it, and like they sell it on Etsy and shit. It's fucking wild.
Now, I did see something where they were talking about the gentrification of saltines.
What the fuck?
You mean crackers?
Yeah,
there are not. There are. Well, hold up. There are non-saltine crackers.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Saltine crackers. People are saying that white people are showing their privilege by sharing the fact that occasionally they rebake saltine crackers with like olive oil and garlic and Parmesan and shit.
How?
Who?
How the fuck is that privilege? I want to know.
No, I don't care about that. Sure, that's a privilege, but who's doing that?
No,
Poor
I want to
people.
fucking know. I want to fucking know because see, I buy saltines. I buy saltines for my fucking soup. I love saltines. If I got no other food in the house and I got saltines, I'll eat saltines. I want to know how having the poorest poor man food on fucking earth is a goddamn privilege.
It's not, but when you dress it up with olive oil and Parmesan, it becomes a privilege because you're whitening it up.
Really? Parmesan.
Whiter than saltines already are.
Parmesan, the other
And olive
fucking
oil.
poor man food.
Yeah, you're flashing on people that can't afford to flash like that, apparently, or something. I don't know.
And these are the same people that wash their fucking chicken.
And eat
No,
with
not
soap.
just wash. Hold up. Not just with soap, Church. There were some people who were washing their chicken with bleach.
Fucking
Not
bleach.
just.
Oh,
And
and
not
there's
just.
the
And not just
boiling
any
the-
bleach.
Fill me in
and
on
not
this
just-
as if I haven't heard about it.
And not just any bleach. Clorox. Because you can't have the generic bleach. It won't taste right.
Yeah. The poisoning's not good unless it's the most fucking poisoning.
Okay, so there was this white lady who was a cook and influencer who was talking about spices and like going, seasonings are, they come from like vegetables, right?
Should we just play the video?
Let's play the video.
Okay. I know I should have it handy. Where is
Wait
it?
a minute. I have an idea.
Yeah?
And yes, of course, Larry, you are the returning savior of the show. But let me edit my headline here.
God, I post a lot of bullshit memes at people. Where's this goddamn video? I swear I've retweeted it.
There we go. Now we know where we are.
I'm glad you're willing to admit to your whiteness, Rune. I mean, you do live in a place where the sun doesn't shine.
I am the whitest fucker on this show.
I mean,
Okay, here it
Ayrton
is.
saw me.
I
Ayrton
am
can attest how white I am.
I am eating a salad in white sauce while we're on show
Come on.
with white cheese on my fucking lettuce.
Like, are you using good lettuce? Or are you using poor lettuce?
I mean, Larry meant to get a cheeseburger, but somehow, or a melt or whatever it was,
A
and
penny
somehow ended
melt.
up with,
But they just got me a bizarre grilled cheese from Mr. Beast.
All right. So this is a
all right.
This is a
Hold
chicken
on,
Caesar with creamy Caesar
Hold up,
Scott
hold up.
dressing. Okay,
Here we go. Please season your chicken.
right. We can't hear it.
Hold up. We gotta get the volume on here.
God damn it. Okay, hold on.
By the way, Church, what do you think of my avatar choice for today?
Church is muted, but I will say James Garner has never looked better.
Motherfucker, what the hell?
I got that series on fucking DVD, man. My mom and I watched it before she passed.
That's why I decided to choose that today, because I found this on the internet. Yeah.
Hold on, I have to do this in an obnoxious way. Because StreamYard
I mean-
actually updated a bunch of shit, which is nice, but
I mean, are you advocating that we should start a private eye firm?
What happened?
I mean, yeah.
okay.
Ayrton's
I got
working
it.
out some AV
I got it.
problems.
I got
but
it.
he got
I
it now.
In theory, I got it.
We got it.
Also, what is your avatar, Larry?
It's a advertisement for James Garner's detective agency from the Rockford Files.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Missing
Very good.
persons, skip chases, doesn't do murder.
This is a PSA to the seasoning police on this app. If in your brain you only view seasoning as things like garlic powder, onion powder, or maybe something like rosemary, if this is what you view as seasoning and seasoning only, let me pose you a question. What does this come from? Granulated garlic, what is that? Garlic? Onion powder, where does that come from? Dehydrated onion? Let's take a look at the spice rub. Dehydrated garlic, onion, and bell pepper.
I sauteed those bell peppers along with my onion and garlic.
What is so funny to me is if I had just doused my chicken in this rub alone, the seasoning police would be out of my comments. They wouldn't even be in there. But the second it's fresh garlic or fresh onion or fresh bell pepper, it's automatically not seasoning. And let me just say one last thing. If you're one of those people that loves to watch cooking competitions and a judge says something is under-seasoned, they're talking about salt. Under-seasoning your food means there's not enough salt in it. Salt is going to bring out the flavor of onion, the flavor of garlic, the flavor of whatever random spice rub that you have. And let me just say that if your food tastes a little off, it's not because you need to add more powder. It's most of the time because you need to add more salt or some sort of acid like lemon juice or vinegar. Okay?
Or wine.
And so now my avatar is the most racist image on the internet
Right.
Yeah.
Basically,
So
basically, people flipped the fuck out, church. They lost their fucking jelly and tried to take this woman to task for saying that using fresh vegetables that are the original version of a powdered vegetable is white privilege and wrong. Now
It is.
they
but it's
almost,
even better. It's even better, church, because they say that originally powdered seasonings were white. But that was when, white people were the only ones who could have powdered seasonings. Once, capitalism allowed everybody to have it, then powdered seasonings were only for brown people. Forget all the people in the South who rub stuff up in their barbecue. Forget them. Forget all those Cajun people. Forget them too.
Or the rednecks
Spaniards,
or the rednecks that buy fucking hot
the
sauce.
Italians.
That buy hot sauce
remember,
that's called Anus
French.
Liquefier 2000.
but here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. You got to remember that smart people came forward trying to engage the idiots and said, well, some of these spices were utilized to cover up the fact that the actual meat quality was poor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then people turned that around and said, yeah, because white people wouldn't let us have the good meat. Even though
Yes.
you're talking about regions and cultures wildly diverse and disparate from
I still
white people
don't
who
share
have
the
nothing
good
to
meat
do
with
with
the
it.
minorities.
Now, as a consequence of this video, people exposed some things in the urban demographic of people taking their chicken, peeling off the fat, which the fat that's on there isn't actually good to keep on your chicken when you get out of the container, and then washing it with soap, not just like fucking Dawn.
Right.
Yeah, pull that up.
Yeah.
Pull that up.
To be clear, while you're pulling it up, we're not talking about giving your chicken a little bit of water and then like applying olive oil and powdered stuff to it. That makes sense. No. Washing it with fucking dish soap and Clorox.
And again, it has to be the proper Clorox, not the generic stuff.
Right.
Now, at least one of these people used vinegar, and it's like, that's at least acceptable.
A vinegar is at least something you could use. Yeah, that's a food stuff. There's also the problem now that like people are debating over which spices are acceptable for what groups, right? Because people are assuming, since she said that salt is designed to bring out spices,
Go ahead.
That they're assuming that like white people don't use paprika, like we've never heard of it.
I'm gonna come out of left field and I'm gonna claim MSG for the white delegation.
No,
MSG.
MSG is clearly owned by Asians.
Well, no, here's the thing.
I'm claiming it in the spice draft.
Hold up, though. The ancient Romans actually invented MSG before the Chinese. You
But
need to
ancient
fix
Rome.
the.
Wait, Larry. Rome didn't exist.
No,
Oh yeah, that's right.
God,
But look at that! Look at that right there!
That's a
Look
lot
at
of
that.
dawn.
Jesus fucking Christ! It still makes me fucking angry.
hold on.
I'm so
Hold on, there's
fucking
more, Rune.
angry. No, no. God damn it!
With the
Is she gonna
fucking
read her the
dish
bedtime
sponge.
story afterwards?
With the dish sponge.
Tuck it into some pajamas and put it to bed.
The chicken had to pay extra to get rubbed down like that.
And let's not forget, she's using the sponge. Who the fuck knows what's living in that sponge?
Now this
Sponges
lady's
are
saying. Now this. Here's another one.
No,
We haven't got
no,
Clorox.
That's a lot of soap.
no.
And you know the weirdest part is that like they think you're gonna get salmonella, but this is chicken, not salmon.
No, you can get salmonella from chicken, but
you know how you fix
You're
that?
missing-
You
you're
cook
missing
it.
The joke, Rune.
yeah, you cook it. You cook it and you clean the surfaces
Rune,
the chicken
Rune,
touched.
you missed the joke.
I don't really see what the problem is. This is how I clean my lunch meat.
Hold up. Here we go.
Church, I'd have to kill you.
Here's another
I'd
one.
have to beat you senseless.
I just ran a bologna through the dishwasher earlier today. Every Thanksgiving, I have to run my turkeys through 2 cycles to make sure I get everything. If the turkey's too big, you just put it in the washer and dryer.
You don't know. No. This one right. I want to.
Hold up.
Here we go.
Can you pull the one with bleach?
Before-
Oh, here we go. Here
before
we
this
go.
goes-
The
before
chunky,
this goes, I have a question.
cornstarch.
Before this goes, I have a question. That young woman with the titties was saying, "This is how you make Spanish chicken." I know
Yeah.
Spanish people, Castiles. I want to ask them, how do you make Spanish chicken? I bet it doesn't involve any fucking dish soap. I'll fucking bet you.
I regularly cook Spanish
Hell,
chicken.
wait a minute. No, we
It
got
does not-
Dillard
it does-
coming on the show later tonight. Dillard is a man of the Latin persuasion. I'll bet you money he doesn't put any fucking dish soap on his chicken.
Is that
I
some
mean,
cocaine?
No, that's cornstarch, Church.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean,
Wait,
Church.
you guys
Admittedly,
still can't hear the audio, can you?
No, I
No.
can't.
No.
But I don't
Okay.
need to.
Wait,
I'm just gonna be angry.
No, you do. No, you
no,
do
you need to hear the audio on this one. You need to hear the
Oh,
audio on
God.
this one.
Oh
Hold
God,
on.
no.
Oh, let me stop.
Ah.
And listen closely to the sounds in the background.
So Church, are you need to clip out the sounds of Rude's anguished wails to save her ringtone.
Oh.
The thing
Okay,
is, man. The thing is, man. My mama taught me how to cook. Like my mom actually stood in the kitchen. You know, me right there, like a little boy. Is like, here's how you cook, Joe. And I'm like, okay.
Here we go. Now again, Church, this isn't cocaine.
You sure?
I kind of wish it was. That would make this all make a lot more sense.
Did you wrap and then wrap your cocaine?
I mean, some
Look,
of us wrap 3 or 4 times.
I mean, for ease of carry.
It's a little too powdery.
It-
Doesn't look like
Yeah.
good cocaine.
Here you go.
Why is she just eating the cocaine like that?
Hey, Church, do you think the cops will help her fix her door?
Well, here's the other thing.
Okay, so
Allegedly.
chunks. I'm gonna be eating this one first.
Allegedly, cornstarch is a key ingredient in crack cocaine.
There's fucking ASMR cornstarch eating. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. and
The only
and up until this point, I counted at least 3 times that a fire alarm battery beeped, that it was out of batteries in the background. I don't know if you guys caught that.
look,
But there was at least 3.
the only reason I can possibly imagine you would eat just fucking straight cornstarch is you got nothing fucking else because you're in goddamn Ethiopia and it'll give you a sense of fullness before you die of
Oh, no.
goddamn starvation.
Oh no, they eat dirt. Should I pull that up?
Well, no. The Ethiopians have actually improved their situation.
No, I know the Ethiopians have improved their situation. These are Americans, and I want to know what the fuck's wrong with them. Darwin was right.
Slow down there, Heimler.
Do we have to pull up the racism time crawl?
Here, I got something. See if I can get this pulled up real quick.
I mean, we got a lot of stuff.
Oh no,
'Cause I'm
I
looking
actually
for the
came with
eating
actual
dirt video.
content, but we're not doing that right now at all. This is more entertaining.
No, that's
My wife Nikki is a freaky eater. 34-year-old cornstarch all day long.
Cornstarch is soft. It's very fine. It is so good. I cannot stop eating it.
You know, lady, if you at least ate cocaine, you'd get thin.
That's 33 calories daily from cornstarch.
3,300 calories of cornstarch daily.
holy
That's
shit.
a fuck ton of cornstarch, bro.
I remember seeing this years ago. Like this was on TV.
Oh,
Alone.
but apparently it's a
normally
thing.
used for thickening, baking. But me personally, when I buy
I mean,
it's
baby
strictly
girl,
for eating
you've
it.
gotten a lot of
I'm not-
thickening already. You don't need any more thickening, honey.
Always water for it. It is the best. My first craving for the cornstarch started when
You couldn't just be one of those people that eats hair
Exactly
or fucking
where
fish
and how many
hooks
places
or
she had
anything
this
non-edible
cornstarch
that makes sense.
One is in
And
the
I could look at you and say
closet
that's
in my
crazy
jacket.
person. No, you had to
Well,
eat
cornstarch
fucking
stash is literally
foodstuffs
all
that are
over the
actually
house.
food.
She hides
Entry
it all over the house. Like
In the
drugs.
living room,
Christ.
right here.
Jesus fucking
I mean,
Christ.
church, you've lived in places like that before, right?
it's like heroin stashed.
With her 16 years of cornstarch consumption, Nikki's at risk
here
for
we
some
go.
serious health issues. 9 pounds of cornstarch.
I was really shocked. This was so much in a year's worth. This isn't good for me.
What do you think's gonna happen if I walk on this?
Sink.
Nope. It's a non-Newtonian fluid.
Wow.
If you walk fast, you can walk right across it. Walk on water, JJ. Look at that. Then it was Nikki's turn. We wanted her to have the experience so she could feel the consistency.
She should just dive right
Oh.
in and
I
start.
was fearful of sinking all the way to the bottom.
Just start eating it.
Fast, fast, fast. Go, go, go. Walk, 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 walk. And there go the shoes. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Look at that.
For 16 years, Nikki's body's had to process this thick, gooey, cement-like substance. The last thing
And it all went to her ass.
I was
All it went to her ass.
Okay, I'm a be a real
thank you,
pig
Dr.
for a
Ludman.
minute.
Nice to meet you, Nikki.
Because Nikki
I
complains of severe
like
stomach
women.
pains and has only
As a
one bowel
bisexual
movement,
man, I like women.
we need to
Hold
Did
up,
you
hold up,
catch
hold up.
that?
Can you please reverse it? Can you please reverse that a little bit so we can hear that again?
Okay, all right, I'll wait.
He complains of severe stomach pains and has only one bowel movement a
A week.
Wait, per week?
Yes.
week.
Fucking
We needed a doctor
Christ.
to rule out any potential.
Does it come out in a
intestinal
brick?
blockage. Dr. Lane is
Yes.
a radiologist.
I am hereby canceling women until they get their shit together. They are all banned.
Look, I was gonna say, as a bisexual man, I prefer women. I love women. I think women are beautiful. I think women are smart. I think women are sexy. And if you were to ask me if you were going to ask me to
that's second
delineate
to
it
last
down,
one.
here's the thing: if you're going to ask me to delineate it down, okay, like if I had to put it on a gradient, okay, I freely admit I got the fever. I got the yellow fever. I got the jungle fever. I got the fever. I like me, the dusky women. Okay. If you say, Joe, how do you feel about a big black woman with a big black booty? I'm like, okay, let's go. All right. But if you tell me she lives on fucking cornstarch and has one bowel movement a week, that's not a booty. That's not a dump truck. That's a disaster area, and we should call FEMA.
Okay, so Rune, I have this one last thing to conclude racism time.
God damn it! It never
Well,
ends.
no, hold up. I
It
got
never
something else
fucking
to
ends.
I have something else for racism time before going to racism time.
Okay, I'll
Racism
put
time,
the link in the
tracker is
put the link in the thing, and I'll pull it up after this.
Yeah. It's the last one I posted.
The practice appears to be most prevalent among Southern women, some of whom are known at times to eat about a handful a day.
You're not supposed to eat it, you dumb cow.
Just wait.
Not just any dirt will do. It has to be dug from the right place and should have a rich, pleasing
You're not
flavor.
supposed to eat
Such
it.
locations are found primarily along the
You
southern
tape
riverbanks.
Because you're looking for loam.
Frequent trips are made to gather dirt in jars or bags, to be enjoyed at home or to be shipped to distant relatives.
Chips to relatives? We're
Yeah.
giving people dirt to eat?
The big cities of the north are now home to many southern blacks. Though less widespread, the eating of dirt is here too still a popular custom, thanks to relatives down south and the U.S. Postal Service.
They look like they subsist on cornstarch and dirt.
Sometimes, when genuine dirt is not available, some women have been known to eat cornstarch or baking soda as a
Hold on, I need to replay one of those lines.
available.
About the
some women have
corn.
Sometimes, when genuine dirt is not available,
When genuine dirt. These motherfuckers are grading their dirt.
Only the realest dirt will do.
So Rune. Oh no, don't be right back. Get back here. We're not done.
What do you want? What?
People around with a tuba.
Stop it! Cut it out! I have a glandular problem.
That'll be.
So, next up on Racism Time, Jonathan Majors, also known as Kang from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, arrested for allegedly assaulting woman in New York.
Wait, is this racism time or is this actual comic book news?
This is actual comic book news that may imply racism. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania star Jonathan Majors was arrested in New York City Saturday morning. According to TMZ, the Kang actor was booked on charges of strangulation, assault, and harassment following a call for service near the Chelsea neighborhood of Manhattan around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Per the report, the female victim in the case reported Majors attacked her in a dispute, and TMZ reports that the victim, who allegedly had visible injuries, was taken to an area hospital and is in stable condition. While Majors was arrested, he is reportedly currently out of police custody. The outlet reports that the incident in question took place on Friday night, with the woman reporting it to the police Saturday morning. With all those nice photographs you get taken in the ER. A representative from Majors told TMZ that...
No idea why my screen is jumping around.
A representative from Majors told TMZ that the actor has done nothing wrong. And the actor looks forward to
I want to
clearing
correct. They've actually adjusted the language in a show of white privilege. The representative actually said he didn't do nothing wrong.
The representative said, and we look forward to clearing his name. The NYPD released a statement about the incident on Saturday, March 25th, 2023, at approximately 11:14 hours. Police responded to a 911 call inside of an apartment located in the vicinity of West 22nd Street and 8th Avenue, which is in the Harlemish area. Within the confines of the 10th precinct, the statement reads, a preliminary investigation determines that a 33-year-old male was involved in a domestic dispute with a 30-year-old female. The victim informed police she was assaulted. Officers placed the 33-year-old male into custody without incident. The victim sustained minor injuries to the head and neck and was removed to an area hospital in stable condition. Majors has become increasingly high profile in recent months. Not only is the actor become a household name due to his role as Kang, because we was Kangs and shit in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but he also recently starred in Creed 3. And on Friday, Searchlight Pictures confirmed his next film, Magazine Dreams. He is set for a December 8th release, and the film Majors plays an aspiring bodybuilder, Killian Maddox, who struggles to find human connection in the exploration of celebrity and violence, like choking a bitch. Nothing deters him from fiercely...
Hey, you got to keep that pimp hand strong.
Exactly. From his fiercely protracted dream of superstardom, not even doctors who warn him of permanent damage he causes himself with his quest. So, yeah, we may have a problem in the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Kang having to do some time for strangling a bitch.
Well, before we get too far from the topic, we should also discuss the opening discussion we were having before we went on the air.
With Afro Man?
With Afro Man, yes.
To further cement our discussion of racism? Because
Yes.
what happened to Afro Man was unambiguously racism.
Well,
absolutely.
It's actually extra funny. As I said, before you had me lose my fucking mind about seasoning, that is an old scam. And I have always felt that while you should require a search warrant to kick in a guy's door and search his house, that police should be on the hook. If you serve a search warrant and you find nothing, your county should absolutely be on the fucking hook to repair any damages you fucking did and return any property you did that you fucking lifted.
Well, that's qualified immunity, Rune.
Yep. Cops are immune.
No. I'm not saying that the cops can be sued. Although
No. I'm saying the police department. I'm saying the police department's also legally immune.
Yeah, I'm saying that's bullshit. I'm saying I'm saying they should be required to restore your shit as per standard. That there shouldn't be a lawsuit.
That's
Either
nothing.
You find something or you don't fucking kick in a man's door. That's just
nothing,
my thing.
Rune. That's nothing, Rune. The cops are also not responsible for busting your stuff up when they have a search warrant. If they go into the wrong house, bust stuff up, shoot your dog, they're not responsible.
Yeah, see, this is wrong. This encourages malfeasance, corruption, and mishandling of your job.
Unless you're in Texas and you can have a standoff with cops for 18 years and they just get tired of it and say, okay, we're done.
Oh, you mean, if your name is Willie Nelson?
No.
There's a dude in Texas who had a 15-year standoff with the cops.
Right. No, I'm just mentioning also that Willie Nelson had a standoff with the cops. And it was literally because Willie Nelson's people said, yeah, we're not on the clock right now, but we will absolutely shoot a cop if you make for Willie Nelson. And the cops were like, well, we do like Willie Nelson, so I guess we'll let it slide.
So we got a good article from Ars Technica. Cops raided Afro Man's home, then sued him for using footage in music videos. See, I used to make jokes about Afro Man's because it got high, but apparently Afro Man was really keeping it way too real. Afro Man has said he plans to countersuit and keep making music videos. 7 Ohio cops who raided a rapper known as Afro Man's house last summer are now suing the rapper after Afro Man made music videos.
No. The cops should not be able to sue you for something to which they are immune for if it is publicly available material. It was recorded on his fucking cameras in his fucking house, and he made it publicly available. No problem.
Oh, no. In some states, it's illegal to film the cops.
Bullshit. The cops are public servants. They should be open to be recorded by anyone, anywhere, at any fucking time.
I agree. The rapper, after Afro Man made music videos using footage from the raid, Adams County Sheriff's Office police officers allege that the rapper is profiting off of unauthorized use of their likenesses, not only in the music video, but also on merchandise created after Afro Man's social media posts and music videos went viral on platforms like TikTok and Instagram. Cops suing, they say they've been subjected to death threats, ridicule, reputation loss, embarrassment, humiliation, emotional distress, and other alleged harms. Now,
that's called being a fucking cop.
Now, of those things, everything but the death threats is deserved. The death threats is not deserved.
But even
Well,
then, people threaten cops with their livelihoods all the fucking time.
I have a different take on that. If you work in the public sector, you deserve everything you get. Even if you're a janitor at the FBI building, I don't care. You're still a scumbag.
And other alleged harms.
No. See, I disagree. Nobody deserves the death threats, but everybody gets them. You can't tell people. You can't give. I mean, you shouldn't.
We on the Church of Failure do not advocate for death threats, and we generally oppose them.
Right, but that doesn't mean they're not going to happen. You should expect that they're going to happen. That just sucks.
Suffer losses unless the court forces Afroman to destroy all the merchandise and posts bearing their likeness. Ours couldn't immediately reach Afroman, whose real name is Joseph Foreman, for comment, but Vice talked to him in January. Afroman told Vice that after the raid, he suffered too. Losing gigs, feeling powerless, he decided to create music videos from songs Lemon Pound Cake, Why You Disconnecting My Video Camera, and Will You Help Repair My Door to reclaim his good name. The cops' warrants showed that the officers conducted the raid to seek evidence of drug possession and trafficking, as well as kidnapping. But no evidence was found, and no charges were issued against Afroman. Afroman was not present during the raid, and his music videos relied on security camera footage and videos shot by his wife on her phone. The rapper claims the police destroyed his ex-wife. The rapper claims the police destroyed his property and seized $400. I felt powerless, yet angry. He told Vice these guys destroyed my property and literally couldn't do nothing about it. He said that releasing the music video was the only way to process these feelings, and he was shocked when the videos went viral. The only thing I could do was take my pen and sing about the injustice, Afroman told Vice, and to my surprise, it was going over well. Some of the music videos and social media posts have garnered millions of views. Ours couldn't immediately reach R. Klinger, the lawyer for the officers suing. The officers are Sean D. Cooley, Justin Cooley, Michael D. Estep, Sean D. Grooms, Brian Newland, Lisa Phillips, and Randolph L. Waters Jr. Klinger told the Washington Post that Africa's home raid was lawful. Adams County Sheriff Kimmy Rogers told Vice last month that while the office didn't appreciate the disrespect from the public after Afroman's videos became popular, Rogers felt the office could handle it. However, Rogers said that it's kind of tolling on some of the officers. Well, maybe you shouldn't have went to somebody's house and said they were kidnapping people and dealing drugs.
Well,
especially when they're a
hello.
celebrity. Hey, we're talking about Afroman.
Man, fuck the
and
police.
how exactly. Exactly.
John, you are
Hello,
a man
Rune.
you are a man of culture. You are also a man of the Latin persuasion. How do you make
telling
Spanish
me? Are
chicken?
you calling me colored again?
Well, no,
Yes.
no. We were talking about the Great Spice controversy that's being done by crazy people on the internet.
I was just talking about that on my show.
So Dillard, as a man of a certain melanin level, how do you wash your chicken?
How do I wash my chicken? With water.
Oh, okay.
You don't use Dawn?
I do not use Dawn soap to wash.
You don't use Clorox? Because, and again, not the generic Clorox, only the store Clorox, because that tastes right.
Taste? You're not supposed to taste Clorox in any capacity.
Now, I do in fact work at a dish cleaning company, and there is a chemical that is similar to bleach that is food grade safe. So you can consume it and not hurt yourself, but you're not supposed to. And I reiterate, you're not supposed to.
Jesus Christ. So angry.
Now, it seems that the officers have reached their breaking point after months of alleged public ridicule, which they deserve, with each demanding at least $25,000 in damages on 5 separate counts of their complaint against Afroman. Ohio law bans the use of an individual's persona, such as Afroman's use of the officer's face in videos on T-shirts for commercial purposes without authorization. So, I mean, Dillard came in with the important message from this story, which is fuck the police.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if you ever get an opportunity to not be involved with the police, take it.
Right.
But if the cops
That
go
is
into your
me
house,
advocating for you not pulling over when they flash their lights at you.
yeah, but when the cops come to your house, take your shit, and you didn't even get convicted of anything, they didn't even find evidence of anything, and the cops don't pay to fix your shit, you have every right to make fun of them.
Absolutely. You have every right to retaliate with violence.
I don't disagree.
In Minecraft.
Well, I mean, in Florida, we did have that situation happen where some cops busted down a house. Guy had a gun, and he shot him, and he got away with it because the cops went into the wrong house.
So, am I remembering it right that Florida made it legal to shoot federal agents on your property?
It's a little more complicated than that.
Okay, I figured it was more complicated than just like if a Fed walks into your grass, you can cap them.
So if you don't know they're a Fed and you feel an imminent threat to your life and you shoot them, then it's gravy. Okay. Now, if the Fed comes to your house, but it's the wrong house, you tell them to get the fuck off your property. They don't. You shoot them. That's also gravy.
Okay.
Now, you may have some problem with federal law because federal law says you can't shoot Feds, and that's a whole separate problem.
Right. But still.
Federal law says you don't shoot Feds, and I do not advocate breaking that particular set of federal laws, or most of them.
There's a couple you can. Larry's fine with you breaking, but most of them you shouldn't.
Yeah. So, do we want to go in talking how Victoria Alonso got fired out of a cannon as part of our racism time?
I mean, I'm sure we'd love to talk about that, but I mean, John's here. I think we should talk about the Canadian tussle and actually do our due diligence as civic individuals to talk about a comic book.
We should shill our comic book.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not a cop, if that helps.
that doesn't.
Wait, you're not? Get him off the show.
I mean, after this, we can talk about gay.
I heard he was a minority.
Getting a comic.
I heard he was a minority too. That's
Church is a fucking
right
Fed sympathizer. That's what he is. You're supposed to be separate from the state, Church.
What? Oh, yeah, I'm not a Fed. Absolutely not.
You are not. But you're not allowed to combine the church and the state, Church.
Yeah. Like Church's first response when he was seeing black people eating bricks of cornstarch, is saying, "Is that cocaine?"
God damn it! So fucking angry.
I don't know. When I see blacks with bricks in their hand, I think something else.
Well, it's big white bricks, so I mean, Church's first thought was cocaine.
God knows what I'm talking about.
My goodness.
So let's shill this merch here, Dillard.
If I ever saw John with a brick in his hand, I'd assume it was cocaine too.
Hey now.
I mean that's not fair. It could be hashish.
So let me ask
LA.
you: do you want me to share my screen or something?
Sure.
I mean, if you would
share your screen, share some cocaine.
I'm not sharing any cocaine with you. Anyway.
I
thought we were friends, John.
Every damn time. All right, so here's my campaign. You let me know when you pull it up.
Am I supposed to be doing that, or is
anybody?
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Bueller. Anybody?
We got it. We got it. We got it.
Calm your tits.
All right. So,
actually, you should scroll down so we can see the tits that need to be calmed from the actual comic.
Hey, they're censored on this advertising page here.
Thank God.
No, the thing is that I started on this. This is not on Indiegogo. It's not on Kickstarter. It's a new website called Fund My Comic. Everybody's been getting shadow banned over on Indiegogo, and that's like the only reason you go is to get like the cross pollination, right? The foot traffic.
You go to get shadow banned at Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Well, certain people have been getting shadow banned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what's happening is that they've kind of figured it out that if anybody, if you get like one person that does like a false flag or a complaint against your thing, they'll immediately shadow ban it.
Yep.
So basically, they're telling everybody, if you complain about CG products, we'll take them down, and nobody can find it. So it's like, oh, gee, willikers. But this guy Luke Stone, yeah, oh my goodness.
So is this the one that Ethan was talking about getting put together a while ago?
No, well, I got this thing together in like 2.5 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he's like, oh, I heard about it, and I'm doing my other book called The Ballad of Bucklet. That's taking me a long time because normally my normal work is really time intensive.
I have been watching Dillard work on it. It looks right fancy.
Yeah. So this one, I'm like, oh, you know what? This is the kind of art style that I would do if I didn't have to make money doing art. Right? Like if I wanted to just do what I felt like doing, I would draw in this style because that's what I grew up doing. Because I was when I was little, I wasn't copying like, Dragon Ball Z or something. I was copying Ren and Stimpy because I love that. Right. All that Spunko stuff, so I was like, yeah, let me just do something like that. I could do that quick, and I'll make a whole new campaign because everybody was putting their stuff on this guy's website, and it's all like second chance campaigns, stuff they've already funded somewhere else. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I was like, no, I'm gonna make something that's gonna be exclusively on this site. This is the only place that you can get it, right? To get some people over here because it's basically solving all your problems. Like this website has just completely solved all your problems. There's never going to be shadow banning. There's never going to be this or that. It doesn't matter your political affiliation. The guy that's running it is Christian, but you can put the Bhagavad Gita or you could put the Quran up on here in comic book form and still he's fine with it. It's just whatever you feel like doing.
Except you're not allowed to draw Muhammad, so you might get killed by the Taliban.
Well, no, you actually are. That's a misappropriation that certain Islamic groups want to promote, but others don't.
I actually sent that link to Fund My Comic to my partner to see if I couldn't get my book rolling again. Because, we still got all the stuff, and it's a new front for a new campaign. So maybe it'll work out. Maybe it could be a thing. Who knows?
Maybe. Yeah. So basically, if it's, you can't put anything that's obviously illegal, right? Like you can depict things, but you can't put anything up on here showing on the campaign page that's gonna get you in trouble. But you can make
showing pictures of big fat black women using cornstarch to make crack cocaine.
God damn it!
I mean, is that illegal?
Yeah,
should
Making
be.
Crack cocaine is illegal.
No, not crack cocaine. Eating cornstarch as a food all by itself should be fucking illegal.
That's my new fetish.
That's
it would be your fetish.
You found someone who does that.
We found lots of people who do that, John.
Oh, Lord,
John, there are
we
people
spent 30 minutes on that before you got here.
John, people on Etsy are selling that stuff to people.
ASMR channels.
Oh shit!
Wait a minute. I just want to point out, because I know this to be true. Anyone watching this show, I know it sounds fun. And I encourage you to do stupid things, but it is a crime to go into depressed neighborhoods and sell dime bags of cornstarch to hungry mothers.
No, it's not.
What is it?
It is
That's not a crime.
I mean, that's nothing. That's nothing. Eric, do you have that? Do you have those links I sent you from the schizo posting lady on Etsy?
Oh, probably.
Hold up. Keep showing your thing, Dillard. We're gonna get into an entirely different rabbit hole now.
It is not kidding. I am not kidding. It is actually illegal to sell fake drugs.
But you're not
selling fake drugs. You're
saying
that's
cornstarch.
Yeah, I got that cornstarch. I got that starch.
Right.
All right, I'm going to show you my trailer here. This is the trailer I made for this thing. This ought to give you a kind of a good idea about what this is. Let's watch it on YouTube. Make it bigger. Okay, let me start from the beginning and turn on the volume. Yeah. I know what I'm doing here, Joseph. Thank you.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Hey, you. Are you tired of lame-ass stories for kids? Well, don't be a moron. Walk through that door. What's wrong? Don't be a sissy baby. Just have a look. The Buckler Canadian Tussle. Exclusively on Fun My Comic. There you go.
All
What do
right.
you think?
All right then.
I like it. You know what I'm
It's all right.
thinking? Like this art style, you could do something like the size of like a Jack Chick comic. You know,
Uh-huh.
with that style, I think that could be kind of cool.
Yeah, I could do that, but non-Christian.
I mean, non-Christian, absolutely.
Christians, I'm a Christian, but that shit don't sell. But yeah, so basically, this is like the second big campaign.
The way
for the
you
Buckler.
said that, I'm inclined to give you $8 for gas if I knew like your mom was in the hospital or something. You know what I'm talking about too. That one guy that always rolls up to you at the gas station, like,
Oh, yeah.
"Man, my mama's in the hospital. It's only like a quarter mile away, but see, my car
I
is
got
3 miles
kids sleeping in
away,
the
and I ain't got no
car."
gas. Man, I'm a Christian. Let me get about $8."
Dude,
Yeah.
my,
And you
my-
help a fellow man of
Always-
Christ who's down on his luck.
dude, my
Always
favorite.
some indescript number, like $8.
My favorite one was when I was living in Chicago. I was walking up to a cafe to get a coffee and do some homework or whatever, and this lady starts screaming at me to get my attention because I would put headphones in but not play any music so people would leave me alone. And she's like, "Man, I just need money to go to the hospital." I'm like, "I don't have any cash on me." She's like, "Come on, you don't got anything?" I'm like, "Lady, the hospital's literally a block right there. Fucking walk."
Lady, call a fucking ambulance if you got to go to the hospital.
Eat the bill.
So, did you find that link I sent you the other day?
I can't find it.
Well, let's click on that first link I have there from Etsy called Spells That Work.
Oh, Jesus
Promise,
fucking
sir.
Christ.
Well, before I do that, I have something else to make Rune mad real quick.
You fuck. Proceed.
This is the episode of the show where we drive Rune mad and make him groan and make pained noises.
I wonder how he'll feel when I get to my review of Ready Player One and Ready Player Two.
So look at all this goodness, Rune. With cotton candy flavor.
Oh, here we go. I found it.
Cornstarch sample bags.
Dude,
Hold
you
up,
can get a
hold up.
2-pound bag for $25.99. Look at that.
Hold up. I found it. It's
3-pound
the link
brick.
to it's the link to Adrenochrome. I found it.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, I couldn't find where you sent it to me originally.
But yeah, I'm going to review Ready Player One and Ready Player Two this week.
Wait, you actually read those books?
I did.
I believe Church can read.
I mean, why would you read those books?
I had them.
Yes, but why though?
Because they were in my library.
But
I have them.
But Ayrton, show off that Adrenochrome thing.
Oh,
Show off all the different art.
Come discover the radical socialist left elite secret of ageless beauty. Adrenochrome.
Little babies there. See that?
Yeah, that's good. Zoom in
This
on that a
lady
little
has
bit.
Yeah, this lady has like a whole thing of those, and that's $90.
Dude, 5
Oh,
stars.
they're wearing little sandwiches.
Well, that's not
man.
very. Let me tell you, that's not very leftist. We all know that there are no sandwiches in the Soviet Union.
Oh, that's nothing. She's from New Zealand too. This is a crazy old woman from New Zealand.
Hold on, here's a review. I love this piece. What a perfect use for the felt figures. I don't know how much I needed a little subversive humor in my daily life. Very glad to have it. Let's see what other reviews.
Seller custom made me a storage ottoman, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's going so good in my VW van. Love it. Very witty, well wrapped, and timely delivery. Artwork shipped promptly and arrived exactly as depicted. Very happy.
These are all bots.
Beautiful product, well packaged, shipped promptly.
I just love how they all sound like Trump. beautiful package. It was
Yeah.
shipped promptly. It's the best package.
This is the best gift I've ever received.
Oh, here's another one. Here's another one. That's homo positive.
Like you're positive it's homo or it's positive for homos?
Yes.
I love how it says rare find on it.
And one more because Hubert needs to go in threes.
Hold on. Dear Lord, please bring me a manly man.
A man in
What am I
tights.
A man who's working on his wood.
A one-legged man.
I mean,
no, he has his knee
it sure
on
looks.
Church, have you never cut a piece of wood?
No,
not with the knee on the software stiller. No.
Yeah, click on that third one there.
I'm pulling it up. Well, remember, I still haven't figured out how to get links to open directly in Google Chrome instead of Edge. What the fuck?
Wait, I called first dibs.
Remember the story of Sodom and Gomorrah?
Oh, okay.
I love this piece. What a perfect use of the felt figures.
Oh, no,
I told you they were bots.
Cute blonde alert, new kid in town, new line to get acquainted.
Wait a minute. Scroll back down. Recently received a bag of thrift shop felt Bible study figures as a gift. I had fun arranging them in unconventional ways. Tell me you had them kiss and do sexual acts without saying you had them kiss.
I'm gonna need a new Saint Leonard pen after this. I'm gonna go to church next week.
Little kids make everything kiss. I was washing. Dude, I have these cups, right, that I used to make my smoothies. I was washing my smoothie cup out, and my daughter comes up and she has 2 potatoes in her hand. She's making them kiss.
She learned it from watching you, Dillard.
I do not look like a potato.
Yeah,
that's up for interpretation.
He's not nearly Irish enough to look like a potato.
That's fair.
I thought I was
All right.
because I was lumpy and brown.
So, Church, do you want me
That's what I'm
to
going
give?
with.
So, Church, do you want me to give my review of Marvel Comics Presents Race War? Because I got to see that on my trip up to Michigan.
Absolutely.
It was an incredibly boring movie. None of the characters' motivations or drives or directions made any sense. The only good parts of the movie were about Chadwick Boseman being dead and how everybody was feeling sad about that. But unfortunately, there wasn't enough of the rest of the movie to make it a good movie.
Wait a minute, Larry. I know what you meant. I know what you said. But in my brain, all I can hear you having said is that the only good part about this movie was Chadwick Boseman is.
I mean, realistically, it's good for him because he wasn't alive to see this movie and what they did to his legacy with this movie.
Hold on. Let me put the thing back up.
Based.
All the characters were boring, especially Namor.
Are we talking about big cock fish man?
Yeah.
Man who was only in the film because they showed his package entirely too often.
I mean, if they wanted this to be a Marvel Cinematic Universe take on a B movie, they should have gone all the way in on the B movie concept.
Oh yeah,
They
mean,
did.
I mean, look.
They introduced Marvel's version of Aquaman.
Look. I have a film. I own a film. You guys can find it on the internet called Raiders of Atlantis, which is a great B movie.
Oh,
And
I
if
think
they
I've seen that one.
If they had just done that, that would have been great.
This just in: Rune owns a shitty film.
Oh no, God, no! You have no idea. I
To
own
no
one.
one's surprise at all.
I own many shitty films.
All right. So now that we've gotten that little piece of resistance out of the way, So, Church,
Oh.
tell us about how you read 2 of the worst books ever written,
Well,
and that are
first off,
literal
I
crimes
need
against
to know why you
literature.
think I need to know why you think they're crimes against literature, because I do have my critiques of them, but I need to know where all this hatred's coming from before I get started.
Because he writes things that are an ego stroking about him being a nerd that are really terrible for books.
Right.
That they're so terrible that the second that he was approached by Steven Spielberg and people who are competent at writing, he said, "Oh yeah, let's throw all that shit out into the dumpster when we make our movie."
That was twofold, but I'll get into it.
His character is unbelievable and unlikable. The female character, the main character, the author
The main
insert.
character. Okay, Parseval.
Yeah.
Okay.
The female character was also unlikable, but less unlikable.
Very flat. Very flat and underdeveloped.
Very flat and underdeveloped, and I don't believe for a minute she was interested in Parseval. I believe he was interested in her because she had boobs and a vagina.
Yes. But anyway, I'll get into continue.
The plot didn't make sense. The fact that nobody figured out how to get the Easter eggs didn't make sense, especially considering this in the future with super advanced computers. The whole environmental dystopia themes don't make sense. And then in the second book, all the stuff involving trans stuff really doesn't make sense. It's a try-hard reach.
It was shoehorned in, as we like to say in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really only made because he needs something good to work from to make the second movie.
All right. So first book. Hard disagree on it was just all around bad for no reason whatsoever. It was not great, but it had the potential to be much better than it was.
Well, yeah, if you had Runer I write that book, it would have been a lot better because we actually had talent.
It would have had to have been a lot longer. It would have had to have been a lot more in depth. And I think including a bad guy when the actual altercation, the antagonist in the book isn't IOI, it's the contest. They just have to have a bad guy in there because having the contest be the bad guy isn't interesting enough, I guess, for a lot of authors. Having the situation be the antagonist, while it really was the antagonist, and most of the character's shortcomings were antagonist features of the book. They didn't need a central bad guy to come together against. And then extrapolating on that, the bad guy of IOI, the whatever the fuck his name was,
generic white CEO,
Sorello or some shit, Nathan Sorello, some bullshit. He was one note, just bad for the sake of being bad, and that didn't improve in the second book. But I'm skipping ahead a little bit, and it was always easy to predict what was about to happen in the story where it shouldn't have been. Again, it had the framework to be something decent, and it just fell short.
You mean that it's basically used the skeleton of the Lord of the Rings?
No, I won't go that far. I like what it was. I like that it was someone's. It was the same thing Wreck-It Ralph is.
Yes, but Ralph is a good character.
Yes.
Except they ruined him in the second movie too.
Right. And before we get into the second book, let's look at the comparison to the movie. The comparison to the movie, I said it was twofold, that the movie was even shorter sighted than the book. And the main portion of that being that Steven Spielberg got hitched to Warner Brothers to make the movie. So all of that nostalgia shit went out the window unless it was Warner Brothers related.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Space Jam. Like Space Jam was a great concept and a great movie, and then you fuck it up by tying it solely to Warner Brothers properties.
I mean, I don't really agree with Space Jam, the original one, being a great movie. It's an example of what happens when you have Michael Jordan cocaine.
You were too old to understand why it's a great movie when it
here's
came
a-
out, Larry.
Here's a key element that we got to remember is that even at its time it came out, I'm gonna disagree with your church. It was a bad movie, but over
You
time,
were
and
also
across-
too old to enjoy it.
no, I was a kid,
As a
but over time, and
you were
across
never a kid, Rune. You were always a little fucking disgruntled old man in a
Yes.
child's body.
This is true. But over time and across situations, people develop nostalgic feelings for that piece of shit movie. It became popular to people that wanted to recapture their innocence when they might have liked something that bad.
But anyway, moving on. The movie just failed to capture any of the things that the book actually fucked up into getting right. Not that was a lot, but it was more than the movie fucked up into getting right. You're right on the sense that it shouldn't have taken that long for someone to figure out how to get the first key. I think the length of time should have been them thinking like the creator of the puzzle and finding the first gate. I think the first key should have been found within like a week, but then figuring out where to unlock something should have taken the long period of time, and that's where we meet our protagonist.
Oh man, that's what ChatGPT is for. ChatGPT will knock that out in a second.
But anyway, moving on to the second book. The second book spends the majority of its first 9 chapters undoing all the goodwill that the first book built. And again, not a lot. Didn't build a lot, just enough to make me interested in reading the second book. And then the second book was just like, yeah, you remember that guy that you kind of were rooting for in the other book? Yeah, fuck him. He's awful. Until the 10th chapter where he suddenly has to become the hero again. And he has a scene that he's incredibly vulnerable that has no history or setup in the previous story. Suddenly
Also, he randomly bangs a they also throw in randomly in one of the earlier chapters he's banging trannies.
Yeah, in the virtual world. Mm-hmm. And that, you know, Prince used to make him sexually question himself, but not anymore. Now he's grown, and I don't know. Yeah, the second book just wasn't good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll be right back. I gotta go grab my dinner. I'll be back.
yeah. Second book just it wasn't good. I didn't like it anywhere near as much as I did the first book. Again, I think the first book had a lot of promise, and it just kind of fell short. I think with a little bit of polishing and better editorial, it would have been something good. So I don't know, but I like the world that they built. I just don't like what they did in it. That makes sense.
I mean, I don't like the world that they built because it's an environmental dystopia, and most environmental dystopias are unimaginative.
No, I mean the digital world that they built inside the Oasis.
You know, I liked it better when it was done by Gibson in the little book you might have heard of called Snow Crash, which they referenced in Ready Player One. They referenced the fact that somebody else had already done the concept better, and several other people as well, some of whom were referenced in the book.
But there were a couple of interesting parts. You know, there's a lot of plot device. A lot of like everything you could see everything coming. Like the Chekhov gun was entirely too like obvious as to what it was.
Now you see, my favorite Chekhov's gun has to be the poison pen from the episode of Archer. Did you ever see that episode of Archer Church?
I did.
That was my favorite use of Chekhov's gun.
I'm trying to remember because there was a little bit of a twist in that one, wasn't there?
So Archer was training his buddy, who was the accountant, who has a problem with women.
Okay,
you know,
okay,
become
wait a
spy.
minute. Wait a minute. I call bullshit. Cyril is not Archer's friend.
I mean, he's as close as Archer has to a friend, which is unfortunate for Archer.
Are you sure it's not like Krieger or Barry?
No, because those people aren't really capable of being friends. I mean,
Barry?
technically, neither is Archer.
You sure Barry's not? Remember, Barry was the only one that actually came to Archer's bedside while he was in coma and sang to him.
Yeah, but that's because Barry's messed up in the head.
Well, he is a robot.
Yeah. So he gave Cyril a poison pen, which is a useful implement when you're a spy, as well as a Chekhov, which is a type of gun that the Russians use. And he's got a hooker. He's dancing with her. And
well, she was a
the
call
poison-
girl at first.
right,
Then
but then
she
we roll her up
became a
into a
hooker.
rug, and then she became a hooker.
you have to call hookers, Rune. Come on, they don't just show up.
No, they actually clarified
That's the
this
joke.
in the episode.
That's the joke. That's the joke.
Once you have enough money, Ayrton, they do just show up.
That's fair.
Yeah, but the joke for the show is she's a hooker, Cyril. You have to roll her up in a rug. She's a hooker.
Yeah, once they're dead, they're hookers.
And so the poison pen goes off in Cyril's pocket, which is also a premature ejaculation joke, and I'm always a fan of those. And Cyril's like going, I thought it'd be the Chekhov's gun that would go off. And Archer's butler said, no, that seems like an extra esoteric reference, sir. It was good on several levels. It was back when Archer had better writing.
So, since none of you guys decide to look at the private chat, do you want me to review John Wick 4 or that Timcast song?
Well, let's review John Wick 4, because I actually don't care about the Timcast song.
Okay.
Basically, ever since the whole anal hooks guy on Timcast, I've really not cared about Tim.
Do me a favor and give me a recap on John Wick 3 before you get into 4.
So John Wick 3 is basically the one where he goes after the high table.
No, that's John Wick 4. John Wick 3 is he's been excommunicado, and he has to go find the king of
he has to go find the one above the table or whatever they call it.
Yeah, the king. He's got to go find the king to get himself unexcommunicated, and he screws that up. And his buddy who runs the hotel shoots him, and now in John Wick 4, he's got to go challenge for the high table because, spoiler alert, John Wick actually has the right to a seat at the high table, which allows him to challenge the high table and also get out from under all of his many problems.
And that's essentially the movie. It's long, but it doesn't feel like it because it's
Keanu Reeves punching a bunch of people, shooting at them, stabbing them.
So yes, that is basically what it is, but it's shot and paced so good. It's like watching a moving painting in most of the action scenes.
There's one long action scene that's entirely a single shot.
Which is that the staircase?
I think it's the staircase one.
Okay. Yeah, that was good. That whole part. There's a couple of weird things where like they're in the middle of Paris driving around a roundabout, like shooting up all these cars, running into people, doing all this shit, and they're just people in cafes on the side just like still drinking their coffee, just not reacting to it, which depending on your point of view can take. I heard some people said that took them out of the movie. I thought it was kind of funny personally because that's what happens in all of them. Like they'll be killing all these people brutally and running down the street all bloody and nobody cares or pays attention to it. So I think it works in the world, if that makes sense.
Hey Marjorie, it's them ninjas on motorcycles again.
Yeah.
They're fighting each other with katanas.
Now, Harry, I told you not to take the alcohols, not take your pills.
No, it's out on the street. Look out the window, Marjorie.
I'm not going to look out on the street at your non-existent ninjas, Harry.
Look, they're firing Uzis now.
Oh, yeah, they got the Uzis. And just those street boys.
But yeah, overall...
Two men just randomly crashed through the window.
Yes, that is how the world of John Wick be.
Yeah,
that is also the best joke in Predator 2. Right? If you guys didn't recall, the Predator gets right fucked up, falls into some lady's bathroom, is doing the hobo surgery, so he can survive just long enough to get back to the ship. And as it smashes out of this woman's bathroom, when she's approaching with a fucking broom because she thinks she's gonna beat up a predator with a goddamn broom, and then smashes its way out of her apartment, Danny Glover drops in. And he's like, I'm a cop. And the little lady's like, I don't think he gives a shit.
But yeah, I thought for what character you can have in a John Wick movie, I thought the characters that they added for this one were done very, very well. The blind guy. So it's between the blind guy or the black dude with the dog. Are probably
Black dude with the dog who's now dead.
He's dead?
Yeah, he died.
Like the actor?
The actor died, yeah.
Oh, man. He was really good. I really liked him.
He's an excellent actor.
But I love... So there's some ridiculous stuff with the blind guy, but the first couple scenes, like where he puts like the motion sensor doorbell ding things on the walls and on like the kitchen counters, so like when the guys walk through them, he knows where to shoot. That was really cool. There's when he's fighting John Wick the first time, and he has his cane like held out in like a fencing pose, and he's like waving it back and forth spastically, like making sure it's clear. I thought that was really like a really clever way to do that. And then like they do all their fight and like they're shooting and doing all the crazy stuff, and what gets knocked over and whatnot, and he's just standing there holding his gun. He's like, John, are you dead? that whole sequence with him, I think was wonderfully creative and a really, really good use of his blindness, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. It ends how you expect it's going to end. I'm not going to spoil it, but how you think it's going to end, that's how it ends. But it's done very, very well. It's not cheesy or over the top. And
the movie studio is saying, like, listen, we want more Keanu Reeves in these movies.
Right. Which, don't do that. As much as I would love to see him kill more people, just don't.
No.
They also want him to be in the streaming.
You don't want more John Wick. You just want to watch Keanu Reeves kill people.
Well, no, in this world, like, I really like the way they built this world. Like, legitimately, they did a great job. It's ridiculous. A lot of it makes no sense, but the tone of the movie just kind of makes you accept it and just kind of draws you in.
I mean, John Wick is a perfect World of Darkness setting. Just without, the supernatural aspect.
Yeah.
It's like a giant World of Darkness, criminal underworld, criminal Illuminati sort of setting.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, it's not just Keanu Reeves shooting people and beating them up. Like, it's this whole world that would be cool to see more of, but don't bring him back. leave it where it is. I mean, maybe you could do a prequel TV series.
They already got a prequel TV series coming, and they're
do.
trying to get Keanu Reeves into that too. But it's not about him. It's about the ballerina school where he grew up as a kid.
Okay, the Roma, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
That would be... I thought they canceled that.
No, that's still in the pipe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that would be kind of cool to see that whole family and how that works. Oh yeah, there's the sequence in Berlin at the dance club with the fat guy. That was really fun.
So, which of the many other topics do we want to bounce to next? Because we got a lot of them.
Let me go back over to the Twitter.
You want to talk about Victoria Alonso being fired from the MCU?
Now, actually, yes. Now is a good time to talk about that because we just talked about how John Wick is doing it right, and how corporate wants to fuck that up by overexposing it, let's talk about what's her name, Alonzo, getting punted.
We
Hey,
are
Commander.
Commander Classified. Thank you. And yeah, Victoria Alonso is also now suing the MCU people because they're making some scandalous allegations. Let me pull this up. We could also talk about gay hobo Captain America too.
Jesus fucking Christ, are they not going to give that up? They were smart enough to give up on New Warriors.
No, they're giving gay Captain
We
Hope.
really have to talk about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, though.
We do.
Yeah, we do. But let's talk about Victoria Alonso first, just because that's actually something that's significant for our audience. The shocking firing of Marvel's top VFX executive might be heading into nasty legal waters. By the way, she wasn't just the top VFX executive. She was one of 3 people that Kevin Feige was training to take over for him. He says that in the sub-headline because it wants to focus on the VFX thing because that's part of Marvel's reasons for justifying her firing. Earlier this week, amid much discussion in the trades, but not many murmurings elsewhere, Disney made a massive and drastic change to the leadership team at Marvel Studios. They fired Victoria Alonso with extreme and shocking abruptness and for cause. Alonso, despite not having the front-named recognition of her boss Kevin Feige, has been one of the biggest architects of the Marvel Cinematic Universe project for a decade plus at this point, dating all the way back to Iron Man. Spoiler, she wasn't big in Iron Man. And eventually rising to the role of president of physical post-production, VFX, and animation at the studio. In that position, she served as one of Feige's primary right hands, with her job to ensure that both the physical production and, increasingly importantly and controversially, the digital production of Marvel movies went forward smoothly. Now, reports are emerging that Alonso was fired by a committee of Disney bigwigs in the decision that Feige, according to Variety, ultimately chose not to intervene in. Maybe pursuing legal action over her termination that included issuing threat-ish statements this weekend, firing back at Disney's alleged reasons for firing her, calling them absolutely ridiculous and saying that she was silenced by the company for her LGBTQ plus up, down, left, right, ampersand rights advocacy. Here, the general state of things from both sides. Disney says it's firing Alonso for no other reason than her recent participation in Argentina in 1985, an Argentinian legal drama which was nominated for the Oscars this year, which the Argentinian-born Alonso produced on. Disney says she breached her contract by working on and then continuing to promote a non-Disney film. Alonso's team says she had permission to do so. Alonso's lawyers, meanwhile, suggested Alonso, who's LGBTQ+, was fired for being one of the most vocal internal voices pushing Disney to fight back against Florida's Don't Say Gay laws last year. That included getting up front of GLAAD and calling then Disney CEO Bob Chapek out by name, saying, So I ask you again, Mr. Chapek, please respect. If we're selling family, take a stand against all these crazy, outdated laws. Take a stand for family.
Yeah, see,
We
that's
need
a
to groom
bad
them.
idea.
Deadline reported that Alonso was also benched from press duties by Disney after that and refused to participate in promotion of recent Marvel films. Well, that's a lie, because I saw her in the promotional tour for Marvel Comics Presents Race War. They also say that she was asked to do something reprehensible but undescribed by a Disney exec that served as a last straw that led to her firing.
They said, shut up.
Disney has taken issue with this version of events, issuing a response statement saying in a fairly similar, "Gosh, we're sorry, you got this wrong" language, saying that it's unfortunate that Victoria is sharing a narrative that leaves out several key factors concerning her departure, including an indisputable breach of contract and a direct violation of company policy. What neither side is saying, at least officially, is that Marvel's production and post-production practices have increasingly been viewed over the last year or two, longer, as a shit show. Going all the way back to the first Black Panther movie, it was obviously a shit show. With visual effects houses reporting massive overwork and too tight deadlines, and critics and audiences heavily criticize the look of recent films like Ant-Man and the Wasp. Who cares? THR quotes unnamed sources suggesting the Disney execs were pissed that Alonso was promoting Argentina in 1985, while the Marvel VFX pipeline was coming under increasing criticisms. Regardless of the actual causes of those pileups, which is not Alonso's fault. It's how Disney is managing their film production, which includes some anonymous reports of harsh treatment by Alonso of VFX artists, but also much more widely complaints that Marvel's blend of unfocused work requests, which is the actual problem, which Lucasfilm also does, and grueling production schedules. It's not hard to see why Alonso is a convenient target for all the company's recent production missteps. The question now is whether all this will end up getting aired in court. Alonso's lawyer, Patty Glazer, who's also suing Disney in a whole other suit for the firing of the executive producer Karen McCarthy from the Star Wars TV show The Acolyte, has certainly suggested it's possible, ending a recent statement by saying, "There's a lot more to this story, and Victoria will be telling it shortly in one form or another." Alonso also has a memoir, Possibility as a Superpower, due out in May. It'll be interesting to see how she updates the narrative in light of the last week.
So when did getting fired from a job become like this huge, big thing that you have to make a big stink over? Like people get fired for shit all the time.
So when you're fired for cause, they don't have to pay you. When you're fired without cause, they have to pay you in a different way.
The other issue is with the increased focus on cinematic universes and long-term storytelling, what you want in terms of appearances is everyone happy and everyone on staff doing their job and no ripples in the water. You don't want any stresses because then people lose faith in the company, right? Which means if they kick someone to the curb, they've also got to run the bus over them. They've got to point out how they're at fault and they're all evil and everything was going fine, but for this person who wasn't a team player. Because what you don't want people to start thinking is that maybe, just maybe, the company's fucking up in aggregate, which means
that the stockholders need to hold the board of directors accountable.
Right.
And the board of directors can't be held accountable because they recently removed the CEO, in part because he might have found out about allegations that they were embezzling money from the company into cryptocurrency. Because of Sam Bankman-Fried, allegedly.
Oops.
So there's a lot.
What do you guys think those sex parties smelled like?
Gross.
Vaseline and desperation.
But Victoria Alonso was the one who said, we need to have Miss Marvel be the future of the Marvel brand.
Ooh, are we going to talk about how Brie Larson is broken homeless now, according to her?
Well, I mean, she's not broken homeless. She just doesn't have a gig. Because
no, she said she doesn't have a home either.
I mean, she has a home, but she meant metaphorically. Like, she doesn't have, like, a constant stream of work. Because her Disney pipeline's drying up. They were going to make a whole Star Wars movie about her, but nobody cares about the New Republic or the High Republic or whatever their bad attempt at redoing the extended universe was.
Wait, they were going to put that bitch's feet in Star Wars?
Yeah. The main character of the High Republic book series was modeled after Brie Larson for a reason. Kevin Feige was going to put her in a Star Wars movie. But Lucasfilm fired him for making a Star Wars movie. So,
well, here's the thing. I have a friend, and I took to this friend, and I showed them Brie Larson's famous ramble rant at a thing where she was being.
We don't want to hear white people,
right? And was told that I listened to a echo chamber. And that I talked to the wrong people. And I took it on the chin. I was like, okay, you say that. I'm not going to argue with you about it. But the fact of the matter is that time has borne me out to be correct. Brie Larson was a bad investment.
Yeah.
Brie Larson has the charisma of a fucking sponge. She can't goddamn act. And she has not made good movies.
She can act in... dramatic pieces when she's given a dramatic role. She can't do actioners.
Right, but see, there's another facet there that is not being described. I'm not saying you're a bad person for not describing it. It's just something that doesn't come up in language, which is she can probably act under the control of a very focused director.
Yes.
Right?
And
these
and,
films,
and damn, now that you pointed out, this bitch here does look like Brie Larson a little bit.
Yeah,
these
this book was supposed to start a film series starring Brie Larson.
These films are being done by committee as an assembly line with not necessarily bad directors or cinematographers or anything, but people who are encouraged to be fast and to be thrifty.
Well,
right?
no, they're actually not being encouraged to be thrifty because they're being paid nothing, or essentially nothing. They're hiring TV directors, and they have a technique which allows them to be non-judicious with their use of time.
The thing is like this was pointed out in a review by the Red Letter Media guys. If you watch Spider-Man No Way Home, right, which is a reasonably good film, one of the things you find is that it's staging of scenes, right? Close up, flat, far back shot, right? It's well shot, but it is very flat. There's not a lot going on. They don't do a bunch of engaging or energetic cinematography work because the director in question, cinematography background, doesn't do that. He understands that his job is get the shots, get the scene done, move on. Right? So when it comes to characterization for Brie Larson, right? And they're like, look, your character needs to do this in this scene, right? They are relying on her to have a fucking personality and sell the scene, not the script and not the direction. And
So-
that's why it fucking fails.
So I've only ever seen her as Captain Marvel. What else has she been in? Because you said she's decent in a drama.
She's in all sorts of dramas, like she's a poor white trash woman who hooks up with a black guy who's fighting racism.
Well, no, we weren't going to talk about the fact that she's at a home. What was she in?
Now, the big problem is Brie Larson has a tendency to make things that are racist against people from India. No, I'm not kidding. That has actually been a repeated theme in several of her films.
What is she part Pakistani? Like,
Nope. The Asian guys are always mocked for being. The Indian guys are always being mocked for being stupid, for being sex pests, for being creeps and weirdos. It's just weird.
Really?
Yeah. So let's see here. Let me scroll down to some of the other things she's been in, other than the Marvel stuff.
Well,
she was in
give me a movie to put in to like pull up a
Just
scene from.
Mercy.
Just Mercy.
She was also in Basmati Blues, which is one of her movies where she was racist against Asian people from India for some reason. Unicorn Store, which is a movie she made, which was racist against Asian people and black people and white people. It was just a terrible movie. She was in Kong Skull Island.
She was?
She was.
I don't remember that.
She was. She was also in a little movie you might have heard of called Scott Pilgrim.
Oh, I never actually saw that.
That hot blonde who's playing in the opening band sequence when Scott's told about all the evil exes.
Yeah,
that's Brie Larson.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Here's the trailer for Just Mercy. I don't know. Let's check it out.
Tell me everything that happened. The first time I visited death row, I wasn't expecting to meet somebody the same age as me, from a neighborhood just like ours. But it didn't mean wrong.
But what you're doing is going to make a lot of people upset.
You always taught me to fight for the people who need the help most. Your life is still meaningful.
Okay, she's not going to show up in this trailer? What the fuck?
She is. She is.
I don't know what you're into down here in Alabama when you're guilty from the moment you're born.
God, Mr. McMillan. We done here. Mr. McMillan, please.
I was just about to give up when I got a call.
There she is.
Lawyer looking to start a legal center for inmates on death row. I was in before he even offered me the job.
You the lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for driving all the way out here. Most lawyers barely make time to call.
I can't believe you talked to all my people and say you're going to fight for me. I did.
mean a lot. You go digging in those wounds, you're gonna be making a lot of people very unhappy. When people care about a thing that much, they'll do anything to get what they want.
Oh, hey, that guy.
When I first learned about all this, looking at a river full of drowning people, not having any way of helping them.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Like in that serious sort of thing, she can pull it off.
She also won an Academy Award for Best Actress in 2015.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So Brie can act, but she can't act in actioners, and she needs a strong director to focus her.
Yeah, I don't think she has the energy.
And from people I know I know people in Hollywood who know Brie Larson. They strongly imply she might be a female autist.
Well, since we're talking about the need for strong directors, can we talk about the increasing number of directors who apparently have never read a comic book and you get fucked?
Well, before that, can we talk about how I feel like I'm the only person who doesn't think Michael B. Jordan is an amazing actor?
That's okay.
I mean, Michael B. Jordan's done lots of good work. Nothing that I would consider exceptional.
I think his best role is Creed, but I haven't seen Creed 3 yet to see if they fuck it up.
Well, I mean,
they do because Sylvester Stallone's not involved.
And that's over some legal matters.
That's already a down. That's already a frowny face.
And the guy who he's fighting against in Creed 3 choked
is
a bitch.
Kang. Yeah, he's gonna punch Kang out.
But anyway, so what you were gonna say, Vern?
Well, one of the links that Larry put up, which we can find in the Twitter if Larry wants to go snag it, is a bunch of directors, a growing list of directors, including Paul Verhoeven and John McTiernan, and Scorsese, are all down on superhero movies. They say that superhero movies are played out even as a concept, and basically that comic books were never film, and that they're garbage. Which, admittedly, they're almost right because we are talking about product, right? But they are also painfully fucking wrong because I hate to tell them, they are films in the hands of people who know what they're doing, right? Because the thing that they haven't quite got the balls to say is they want to shit on Sam Raimi for making a crowd pleaser, right?
Well, let me read one of them from David Fincher.
They were talking about Fincher.
As far back as 1999, Fincher passed the chance to direct a Spider-Man movie, and then he further had conversations about it in the aughts, but backed out again. Back in 2011, while promoting The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, he told Gizmodo, "My impression of what Spider-Man could be is very different than what Sam Raimi did. I think the reason he directed the movie was because he wanted to do the Marvel comic superhero, which is wrong." He continued, "I was never interested in the Genesis story. I couldn't get past the guy getting bit by a red and blue spider. Well, that's the problem with your imagination. It's just a problem. It's not something that I felt I could do straight. I wanted to start with Gwen Stacy, and I wanted to kill Gwen Stacy." I mean,
well, that's happened in the comics. Good job, Dave.
Now, in a French interview with Canal Plus, he not only tackles Spider-Man, opportunities that he rejected, but the superhero genre as a whole, which it seems he's not too keen on. Spider-Man was interesting. I was interested in the Gwen Stacy story. That was kind of it. I liked the arc of the tragedy. It was one of the 18 idiots who had discussions about directing Spider-Man. And then he goes down further, says it's not a sandbox, that has a lot of room left for exploring to me. And the thing
I
is,
just want to know who they'd pick for a new Spider-Man.
New Spider-Man? So Tom Holland's not going to be Spider-Man anymore?
Well, no, if they reboot Spider-Man again, I mean, because that's what talk like this always leads to.
I hope they fucking don't.
But it always that's what talk like this always leads to. They're going to reboot it.
God damn it!
No. This is just a bunch of directors who are salty about movies changing. Now, I mean, there are points that he has that he almost has a point on, but he's gone away. So we got John McTiernan hasn't made a movie in 20 years because they don't make movies about real people anymore.
John McTiernan, you made fucking Predator. It's not about real people. Don't fucking lie.
All right, here we go. McTiernan hasn't directed a film in almost 20 years. He implies that the reason why is that the shape-changing the shape-shifting change within the industry. There's a reason why the atmosphere in the film industry has changed around the year 2000. Movie studios were all acquired by money around 2000. Spoiler alert, movie studios were always owned by very rich companies.
Right.
They got a hold of all the studios, what kind of movies they made since. They made movies about people who don't exist. They make animated movies about chipmunks. Spoiler, they've made chipmunk movies before that. Or extinct mammals like mastodons and saber-toothed tigers. They've always made those sorts of movies for kids. Or they make movies about wizards. So what? They don't make movies about real people anymore because those are dangerous.
You made fucking
what a pretentious fuck.
John McTiernan made 13th Warrior. Okay? He doesn't get to criticize people for enjoying films that are fantastic.
And 13th Warrior was a fun movie.
It was a better movie than the fucking Matrix.
And like you can't have...
My favorite part about the 13th Warrior is where Antonio Banderas' character says, I can't drink fermented wheat, I can't drink fermented grapes, and the Viking just smiles and hands him a thing of meat and says, it's honey, and walks away.
Yeah.
But like you can't have stories about real people that are fantasized. That's what mythology is.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. What's more, the actual argument doesn't hold water. I was born the year Conan the Barbarian came out. Okay?
And Conan the Barbarian was not only a very good movie, from a movie standpoint, it was a pretty decent Conan movie.
A year later was Dragon Slayer. A year after that was Conan the Destroyer. Okay. We've had enough fantastic fantasy films for long enough to justify their existence. And comic books are basically fantasy films. Okay? To get mad that you don't like Lord of the Rings, or better yet, that you didn't get the fucking job to direct Lord of the Rings, or Harry Potter, or Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, doesn't mean they're shit movies. It means you made bad choices.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that we're seeing the decline after the plateau of superhero films.
Absolutely.
Which
we're not seeing the decline of superhero films. We're seeing the decline of competent people in the films.
The decline of quality, I should say.
Yeah.
How's that?
Well, no one's going to argue with you on that point. So proceed.
But still, what a whiny little bitch. Like you can still make your other movies. I mean, look at what John Wick just made in its opening weekend. It fucking crushed.
It's compounded by the fact that David Fincher recently did a Netflix series called Mindhunter, which was a fictionalized account of the historical development of criminal profiling at the FBI, which was fucking great. Right?
Yeah,
so
that sounds cool.
Good work is still being made. It's just not getting the mass attention. And like I said, nobody quite has the balls to jump bad and accuse Sam Raimi of being shit, because Sam Raimi has always made movies that sell and always made movies that people liked. There's exactly one exception. He made one bad movie, right, that almost killed his career. And that's only a movie that people know if you are some kind of extremely focused Raimi-ophile.
What movie?
Shit. I want to say it's oh damn it. I can't remember the name of it just now, but it's a crime comedy.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness was pretty terrible.
Was pretty bad, but we also know that a lot of that was not his fault.
No. Yeah, you could see his little things peeking through, and you could see where the studio mandated stuff. But
I am 100% certain that had they let Sam Raimi make a Doc Strange film, okay, it would have been about Nightmare. It would have been creepy as fuck
and batshit insane,
and it would have had more fantastical horror.
Oh no! They actually got rid of Nightmare before Raimi ever got involved.
But if Raimi had the freedom of movement, he would have done interesting things. And the reason I know this is because that's the exact same thing that happened with Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, or Raimi wanted to do a Spider-Man film about Spider-Man versus Sandman. Right? Which is a classic Silver Age villain. And
they're like going, no, bro, we need to bring in Venom.
Right, we need Venom, we need Harry Osborn, we need all that shit, we need it now, and we need all of it at once, and you got to do what we say because we hold the purse strings. If Sony had just let Sam Raimi make the movie he wanted to make, oh, they wouldn't be in the terrible straits they are now. They'd be rolling in cash.
Now here's the other fun part. They could have just had Sam Raimi make a Venom versus Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah, they could have done that too, and it would have been great. And I personally think that the kid they had play Eddie Brock from that 70s show does a halfway decent Eddie Brock. He understood the character he was playing. People don't get that. Tom Hardy's not bad, but Tom Hardy's not Eddie Brock.
Oh, I hated Tom Hardy as Venom. He was the worst part of those movies.
Yep. So do we want to talk about how Lucasfilm is saying, no, we're not going to be doing a Indiana Jones TV show because we want to focus on the Star Wars movie.
we only got about 15 minutes to talk about Power Rangers before the end of the show, Larry.
Well, let's talk about Power Rangers then, because this is Church's show, and Church is Zord in Church form.
Well, do we need to have a moment of silence for the White Ranger?
Well, should I bring up the trailer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you should bring up the trailer. No, no moment of silence. Bum job. Oh, Jesus Christ.
That was short.
Oh, no. No, the Power Rangers, Once a Ranger, whatever special.
Once and always.
Whatever.
Power Rangers Forever, something or other.
It hurts me. It hurts me greatly. Before you even get the trailer brought up, the first thing we should address, well, you can bring it up, but the first thing we should address is they shit all over the actress that played Trini by using her death as a plot point in this.
That does kind of suck. Damn. I didn't know about that. That's awful.
Yeah, let's watch the trailer.
All right.
After all these years, I found a new.
Oh, Rita's a robot.
Wait, a repulsor? No, it can't be. It's time for revenge.
A very bad robot. The face is obviously from another costume of some sort.
She killed Mom. We gotta
That's Trini's daughter in this world.
Let us sort this out.
They just hired another Asian to be her daughter. Because that works.
We gotta make sure Rita doesn't hurt anybody else. Attention, Power Rangers! Get to your assigned stations now!
Once a Ranger?
Always a Ranger.
So we got Rocky, Kimberly, Billy, and Zach. Trini's daughter. I don't know who they brought in as the Green Ranger. Unless Tommy was part of this before he offed himself. Although I don't see why he wouldn't be all over the promotional materials.
Messing with this place?
Because they probably don't have a deal with his estate.
Huh.
Because when you make a deal with the estate, you have like a likeness rights issue and.
Don't worry. We saved the world before.
So once again, Netflix was literally given gold, and they turned it into shit. They turned it right into a big flaming pile of shit. But yeah, did you see what I was talking about there? That the implication that Trini's daughter was lamenting the fact that she was killed by Rita Repulsa.
Yeah.
Why did they have to do that when they already had Ashley as the Yellow Ranger?
I mean,
they they have a desire to tie that loose end up, but I mean, I don't know how they're doing the Green Ranger here.
I suspect all of this was planned and in play before the Green Ranger incident, and now they have no idea what the fuck to do about it. Very similar to Carrie Fisher's sudden death, and it's like, oh shit, we backed our entire pony around this thing, and now we don't have it.
Wow. I wasn't impressed with the special effects. The Rita bot really threw me for a goddamn loop.
Honestly, I kind of like that they stuck with the cheesy '90s costumes and stuff like that. I'm glad
The
that they didn't
costumes I don't have a problem with.
I'm
It
glad
looked like
that
it was a hologram for the fucking Megazord.
I'm glad that they didn't bring it too far into like the modern age effects, though. It still looks like like that stuff was filmed in Japan 30 years ago. I like that. At least they stuck with that. That's all I'm gonna say about the effects. But yeah,
I think they could have done better. And I mean, those are the same effects that led them to grabbing some random silver face and stuffing it over someone in Rita Repulsa's costume.
But I mean, in fairness, that's how the show in Japan would have done it.
It's kind of like saying we're no better than those people in Japan, which we are.
I think what Church is getting at is that when you have the opportunity to do it right and do it really interesting, they rested on their laurels and said, "Well, we can just be as lazy as the original, as though we didn't have the budget, which we absolutely do, and that's not very impressive."
Exactly.
See,
Like this is an anniversary thing. This is something that's supposed to be special, not some straight to DVD trash.
See, that stuff, the outside of the story elements, I don't see it as them being lazy. I see it as them keeping to the spirit of the original Power Rangers.
No. See, it doesn't though, because you see what they do with the Power Rangers whenever they have the opportunity to put any kind of budget to it, and you get those cool suits of armor that had like fucking head flashlights on them in the original movies. But no, they're keeping to the stylistic choices of we have $4 and a pack of bubble gum to make this episode happen.
Well,
So we're going to use those things and those things alone.
Here's the thing. I can understand where Ayrton's coming from as well, only insofar as we're going to use a different franchise as the example. They didn't go the Michael Bay Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles direction either.
Well, they don't have to, but what I'm saying though is,
but they could have. They could have gone that way.
If they're given several $100,000 to millions of dollars to make something like this happen, and they put it together with a box of old costumes and a stick of bubble gum.
I don't know. I think it's charming and nostalgic that they made that decision.
But guys, let me get to the middle of the road here. The issue is that Church is right. If they had said, let's remake the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but use the exact same suits from the original films that have been in mothballs and look like shit now, that would be unacceptable, right? But it would also be unacceptable to do them at like CGI monsters. The answer is do new suits of modern quality that homage the old stuff. There's a sweet spot right in the middle they didn't aim for. And that's what Church is saying they should have aimed for.
Well, I mean, it could have been a different villain instead of Rita Repulsa and a metal mask.
It's still arguably it still could. You could actually find out in the middle of the movie that the Rita Repulsa bot is a dodge for a real villain, but I doubt they're that smart.
No. But I don't know. All in all, I think it looks like garbage. I don't think it's going to do well. And I really think it's trashy using the real death of the Yellow Ranger to
I have a problem.
Can I be extremely cynical for a minute?
Of course. That's what you do.
I would suspect the movie's going to do quite well, even though it shouldn't, because of the recent passing of the Green Ranger. People are going to be upset. They're going to want to, manage their upsetness. So they'll go see this movie thinking that
that's if they use him as the Green Ranger. They didn't indicate that they were going to in that trailer at all.
Even if they don't, I see that as being the brain think of mouth breathers. Is I love Power Rangers. I miss Tommy. I go watch movie.
I mean, honestly,
it's on Netflix.
I mean, honestly, I'm probably going to watch it just out of morbid curiosity.
I grok you, but you get what I'm saying, though.
Yeah. I also don't have Netflix, so make of that inference what you will.
It's okay. It's either you watch that when it comes out, or you do a review of how cornstarch tastes.
God damn it! God damn it!
I'm so buying cornstarch for next week's episode.
That's how I'm going to rate the movie. How many spoonfuls of cornstarch I'll eat while I'm watching it.
I'm gonna condemn myself here and say something. If you motherfuckers send me cornstarch for my birthday, I will put together the money to come to your area and I will beat the shit out of you in front of your children.
Well, considering I don't know when your birthday is, and Church is the only one with your address out of the three of us, I think I didn't have that idea until you gave it to me. Just
and also,
now.
Church is the only one with children.
No, I know what I said. I will beat Ayrton so bad his girlfriend will be impressed.
Cornstarch. How much can I buy off of Amazon?
Dude, Rune, you realize my house moves, right?
Yes.
No, Church. If you're gonna buy it, you need to buy the good shit off of Etsy.
No. I gotta. Let's see. 3.5 pounds, pack of 2. That's 7 pounds of cornstarch right there.
Okay, for clarity, he has to buy that
4.5 pound bucket.
Wait, how old are you turning this year, Rune?
42.
Okay, so we need to send him 42 pounds.
42 pounds of cornstarch. I could send him 10 4.5 pound buckets.
You motherfuckers. See, I said I knew I was dooming myself.
Hey, Rune,
it had to be said.
you are approaching an important milestone. Your birth year is 42 years ago. You remember what 42 is?
Secret to life, the universe, and everything?
Yeah.
There's 6 3-pound tubs of cornstarch. I'm looking for just a barrel full of it. Oh, 3.5. Oh, that's just arrowroot powder.
Look,
that's not cornstarch.
you are not
no, it's a cornstarch alternative.
Look, I'm just gonna throw this out there. You're not gonna get me to eat it unless I get money.
3.5 gallons of cornstarch.
I mean, there are YouTubers who make a lot of money eating garbage. The only problem is they all end up becoming morbidly obese and have serious health problems.
No shit.
But like the dude who's like pounding down like 20 Big Macs a day, he's a millionaire now.
Right.
Kind of makes you wonder why he hasn't hired a personal trainer.
Because that cuts into his eating Big Mac time.
I think you could I think you could make a lot of money eating Big Macs while doing leg presses.
I mean, I think
the 3.5. I think the 3.5 gallon bucket's the biggest container I'm gonna find. How many pounds is in a gallon?
Pints pound the world around. So 4 pints is 1 gallon. So that's 4 pounds.
So,
which I learned from my mother, who taught me how to fucking cook. And my mother never said you eat fucking corn. No.
I mean,
well, this is arrowroot powder, so it's not cornstarch.
We each just need to send him 14 pounds, so we can divide this cost out pretty easily.
Yeah, but I have to outdo all you fuckers. So
that's true.
Let's see, what's the weight on this?
I can see the steam coming out of Rune's ears right now. It's great.
8.5 kilograms to pound. That's 18.45 pounds. So I'd need 2.5 tubs of 3.5 gallon. Oh, it comes in smaller tubs too.
Just think of all the fried chicken you can make.
Oh, it's just a flat gallon.
Now, Church though.
Oh no! Here's
now,
25 pounds in a bucket.
Now, Church, if you do that though, just as a thing, the feds might come to your house and do what they did to Afro Man.
How many pounds of cornstarch in my suit pockets? They ask me if it's cocaine. I just take a big spoonful of it and start eating it.
Well, as we learned from Cocaine Bear, that is a valid way to process cocaine.
Damn, that's a huge ass. Get a cornstarch. Holy shit. Gonna put this in my save for later.
I wonder if they're a tub of MSG that big.
You know, we've discovered new potential for the show.
Sending rune shit.
They're like reviewing really weird shit on the internet.
Here we go. 25 pounds of taco seasoning.
Oh, I found a 5-pound bag of MSG.
But just remember, Church, you can only use that taco seasoning after you wash your chicken off with Dawn.
That's right. That's right. 25-pound split peas.
Here's a gallon of MSG.
Here we go. We're getting close.
It looks like a gallon's the biggest they got.
That's fuck. Click on the thing. It might have a bigger size option in the buy it now.
That's a good point.
Now, while I am not recommending you do this, I did mention that there is food grade sanitizer. That's also available on Amazon.
How big of a pack can you get?
Well, we'll take a look there.
Here's a 50-pound pail of non-GMO organic citric acid.
There we go. Largest.
Rune, have you just given up on life? Like,
he's calling the police.
He's probably calling the feds. We're about to get Afro Man, Church.
Hold on, let me eat up all my cocaine.
Well, we've now learned, because of today's show, you can mix cocaine with dirt and sell it to black people.
25 pounds of taco seasonings, my most obnoxious find so far. How much mayonnaise could I get? A 9-pound pail of baking grease.
What about beef tallow?
Ooh.
Let's see.
What about pasteurized cheese product?
Ooh, Velveeta.
Yeah, government cheese.
No, government cheese was better than Velveeta.
Bucket of cheese. I love America so much. When I type bucket of cheese into a search bar on the internet, I know that the founding fathers are happy about this.
Oh, here's 106 ounces of nacho cheese in cans.
The 8 pounds of feta bucket. Bucket of cheese.
Ooh, because I watched too much Kentucky Ballistics. What about
28 pounds of buttercream icing? There we go. 144 servings of powdered eggs. 240 ounces of cream cheese. We got a casserole going here. All right, we gotta wrap this up. I'm gonna be on the internet looking at weird shit all night and not make it to sleep for work. I think Rune died.
His soul escaped his body.
Motherfuckers are gonna send me a bucket of cheese.
Rune, before we go, Do you have anything you want to say?
What'd you get for your birthday? A lot of cornstarch and a bucket of beef tallow. 43 pounds of nacho cheese. My driveway, the plate of fucking nachos right now. They're gonna airdrop the sour cream in tomorrow.
Oh, like one of those helicopters that fights wildfires. You know, has the giant bucket.
Ayrton, say goodnight, everybody, so we can end this.
Good night, everybody.